In this second part of our Unit 1 lecture, we'll take a brief view of some of the unique points in history that eventually served as the foundation for the development of clinical exercise physiology. And we'll conclude this second part of our Unit 1 lecture by examining some resources for pursuing clinical exercise physiology as a profession in the United States and/or Canada. Coming back to the historical aspect, the study of exercise physiology stems and can be traced back to what was called the Harvard Fatigue Laboratory. And this was a laboratory actually set up in the Harvard Business School and ran for 20 years. And as you can see in this dated photo, we see a number of professionals in a laboratory setting that sought to examine fundamental physiological responses when people engaged in physical exercise. And this location really served as the birth of exercise physiology in the United States. But in order to further develop the understanding and application of exercise physiology, particularly as it relates to the clinical setting, much of our understanding stems from a wide range of different discoveries. And on this slide, I'm highlighting the three individuals who were awarded the Nobel Prize for various discoveries. August Crowe won his Nobel Prize for discovering the capillary motor regulating mechanism underlying human organism function. Otto Meyerhoff was credited, along with another scientist, for discovering what's called glycolysis, or the metabolic pathway for combusting glucose as a fuel source inside cells, and examined how lactic acid was produced in muscle. A.V. Hill related the production of heat in muscle that was found to be proportional to the degree to which a muscle was activated. There are a number of certifications for exercise physiology within the United States, and some of the oldest, more established certifications for exercise physiology comes by way of the American College of Sports Medicine, or just summarized as ACSM. And ACSM as an organization has established standards for pursuing various healthcare or allied healthcare professionals specific to clinical exercise physiology. And this includes a bachelor's degree in exercise science or kinesiology, along with a practical hands-on experience. Depending on the particular type of certification, a master's degree in clinical exercise physiology with 600 hours of hands-on clinical experience can also be expected, once again, depending upon the specific type of certification that is sought under ACSM. Once this certification is obtained, this qualifies an individual to work with patients or clients that are afflicted with various chronic diseases or condition, and in doing so can prescribe and utilize various types of exercise, intervene by advising on different health behaviors, and in doing so will promote the incorporation of physical activity into a person's lifestyle as a method to help to deal with some particular condition. So some of the organizations of interest for those interested in clinical exercise physiology. Um, Not just from a clinical perspective, but also applying that to a more to a sports type of setting. Here we see a few different organizations and their associated websites that may be of some interest. The American Physiological Society does not provide any certifications, but is actually a very good society that provides that has a number of scientific journals and advances our understanding of various topics within the overall topic of physiology. I talked a little bit about the ACSM, or the American College of Sports Medicine. The National Strength and Conditioning Association, although not clinically oriented, does carry various certifications as it relates to specific sports or other exercise types of applications. Within Canada, the Canadian counterpart to the American College of Sports Medicine is what is just simply referred to as CSEP, or the Canadian Society for Exercise Physiology. And this organization was established first in 1967 as the Canadian Association of Sports Sciences, and then eventually began to drift into the clinical realm. And although the society still has very much an athletic or sports application, it's adopted a very significant clinical track, and provides four different types of certifications: certified personal trainer, certified exercise physiologist, and the two newest ones, the most recent ones, is a high performance specialization, which mirrors that certification offered by the National Strength and Conditioning Association, and something a little bit more specific, that's pre and postnatal exercise specializations. Within Ontario, the practice of kinesiology is a regulated, are regulated acts, and that was captured in 2007 by the Kinesiology Act, and regulated and governed by the College of Kinesiologists of Ontario, which is a provincial government organization that is intended to provide that oversight to individuals that carry the kinesiology license. And their role is captured within the scope of practice. Table 1.1 from your textbook identifies a range of different areas of practice for clinical exercise physiologists. Now, these data are obtained largely from the United States, but it is certainly applicable to the practice of clinical exercise physiology in Canada. And we see that overwhelmingly, clinical exercise physiologists are most commonly utilized within a cardiac rehabilitation setting. So working with patients that have experienced some sort of cardiac event, are afflicted with some type of cardiac pathology, or individuals that may be recovering from cardiac surgery. And we see that there is a very wide range of the different environments within which clinical exercise physiologists work. In terms of comparing the qualifications to obtain the certified exercise physiologist title, this table highlights a number of different organizations that do provide that sort of certification. We can see this table presents it for Australia, 3 within the United States, 1 in Canada, and 1 within the United Kingdom. And I'll just focus here on ACSM and CSEP, the two most common ones in North America. And so we see that in order to gain that certified exercise physiologist, the minimum with ACSM is either a bachelor's degree or a master's degree in exercise physiology and involves a written exam, and there is a total practical experience involved with that. Within Canada, within CSEP, the CEP certification does require a 4-year university degree in exercise science, kinesiology, or a related field, 100 hours of total practical experience, as well as a written and practical exam. In terms of the experience requirement types by ACSM and CSEP, we see that there are a range of different uh, areas of focus for those different practical experiences. And the ACSM recommends certain hours. Some areas are not specified, and as it also exists for the clinical exercise physiologists in terms of the number of hours that are recommended. Further details on the specific for more specific information and associated websites, depending upon the category of disease or disability, can be found here with these different organizations. For endocrinology, metabolic disorders, we see a wide range of organizations as a source of very relevant and valid information for cardiovascular disease, respiratory disease, and you can see here a wide range of different resources that are available for individuals who are interested in further development of their career, possibly with clinical exercise physiology. So this ends our second part of our Unit 1 lecture.